All right, here we go. Last part of the final good guy, bad guy. So calling it that because we're going to have a good guy DHCP server and a bad guy DHCP server. But we also have to do Slack and stateful for IPv6. We're going to be doing the good guy, bad guy for IPv4. So we're going to start out with Slack. I've got it first right here. We're going to go ahead and go into our router right here. We've called it ISP. I'm sure he's going to give us some name to call it, but as far as we're concerned, it's ISP for right now. So first thing we need to do before we do our Slack is go ahead and give our router all of its ports that it needs, right? So enable config T. We're going to do host name ISP1. Okay. And if you look here, we've got 4 connections. We've got 2 serial connections and 2 gigabit connections. Now, we also went ahead into the physical. As you can see, we went ahead and put a serial port in here already. That was part of the topology. So let's start out with our serial port. Serial port 0 is going to be int s0/0/0. And we're going to give it IP address. It is 90.2.2. If we look at our nomenclature here, .2, and it's /30, so 255.255.255.252. Enter, no shutdown. Boom. Now it's green. Now we're going to do int s0/0/1, and that is our secondary serial port. We're going to do IP address. Once again, it's going to be 90.2.2.6. If you look at our IPs that we've already figured out. And it's also /30, so 255.255.255.252. Enter and no shutdown. Okay, so that one's up. Both serial ports are up. Now let's do int gig 0/0. That is going to be for our Slack / also our good guy bad guy side. So if we look, I don't have an IP address for that one. No, I don't. So let's go and see. What did he have? He had this. So let's go ahead and write this down. It's going to be 201.2.2.0/24. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll make that right here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do IP address. We need our .1, right? So we'll do IP address 201.2.2.1 /24 255.255.0, and we'll do no shutdown. Now that connection's up. Okay, and our other gigabit port is int gig 0/1, and that is going to be our stateful part. And I don't see an address for that, so let's go ahead and make it 201.2.3.0/24. So we'll keep them close to each other. Obviously, he's going to give us those because stateful and Slack don't do IPv4; they do IPv6. That's why we have cafe and beef here, the IPv6 addresses. So we'll go ahead and do IP address 201.2.3.1 /24, which is 255.255.0, and we'll do no shutdown. Okay. Now we're not going to have a server on that one, so it doesn't really matter, but we're just going to do it for the sake of consistency. All right, so if we look over here at our chart, we've literally given all 4 interfaces their connection. We don't need any of this. We've already changed host name. We'll leave that there. Okay, and the next step is going to be IP routes. So we're going to go ahead and do those now, get them out the way. Essentially, we need to know how to get where. Anywhere over here, that way, right? To the left. We're going right to left now. So let's go ahead and exit. We'll do a read write. Now, IP route. I'm looking for anything going that way. We're going to do a default route first, then we'll do a static route. Now, we have 2 options, right? We have the upper and the lower. The upper is our main, the lower is our backup. So we'll do upper first, which is 90.2.2.1, and hit enter. Then we'll hit up, and instead of 2.1, we're going to do 2.5, because if you look at our nomenclature over here on the far left, you'll see .1 and .5, and then we'll put a space and we'll put a 5 there also to make it our backup. Now let's do a static route. IP route. What do we need? Well, we know that we need what, 192.168 dot anything, right? We did anything earlier, so we're going to do anything again. So 2 zeros to signify anything, and 255.255.0.0 for anything as well. And again, we're going to use the same connections. We're going to use 90.2.2.1, and then we'll do up, and instead of 2.5, we'll 2.1, we'll do 2.5, and then space 5 to give it some weight. That'll be our secondary route. So for right now, that's done with all of our connections. We'll go ahead and do another read write. So now we have a route going back the other way. So let's jump down here to Slack. Now Slack's going to do all of our work for us, right? Slack's the easy one. Slack's super simple. Slack's going to be our left here, the one that's going to our good guy, bad guy. Okay? So what we're going to do is, we're going to zoom in, you know. I want you guys to be able to see this sucker. All right. We're going to say the first command we always do on routers, IP routing. All right? But we're doing IPv6. We're going to do both. IP routing, IPv6. And it's not IPv6 routing, it's IPv6 unicast routing. Unicast routing. Now, if we look at Slack right here, the IPv6 is the beef ones. So we're going to go ahead and type in int gig. What port is it? 0/0. That's the bottom connection on the router. We're going to type in IPv6 address, and it's going to be 2001:db8:beef:1, and then ::1, gateway/64. Okay. Then we're going to type in IPv6. We need to do our link local. IPv6 address FE80::1 space link dash local. Okay. And we're going to do no shutdown. And that connection's up. We already did that with the IPv4, but it's up and ready to go. Now, it should be it. We should be ready to rock and roll. So if I come here and I go to ipconfig and I go to this, boom, I already got my IPv6. So that's done. IPv6, Slack is the easiest one. You just literally tell it IPv6 unicast routing, you give it a link local, and it's done. Right? Super simple. Super simple. Super simple. Now, we didn't give it a DNS server. Do we need to do that? I'm trying to remember if we need to or not. No, it doesn't appear like we need to. So for now, we'll leave it. I mean, it takes points. I don't think he's gonna take. I don't think that's. My IPv6 is working, baby. That's all that matters. IPv6 is working. We'll test it on another end device here. Click desktop. Boom. There we go. All right. Now, the one thing I am seeing, let's go ahead and jump back in here. IPv6 question mark. Okay. We didn't do anything else, right? That's it. That's so simple. Address. Yeah. That's it. I mean, let's type in Let's type in, let's see if there's a DNS command after that, shall we? So let's do 2001 db8 beef 1::53, and that's it. There's no other command. Okay. Do a read write, and there we go. Now, that's Slack. Slack's done. Let's go ahead and knock out our stateful. All right, we're back here. Went ahead. We got Slack done, right? Slack's the easy one. Super simple. I had OSPF here. I was confusing myself. We don't have OSPF. It's just stateful. So we're going to go ahead. If you look, stateful is going to be up here at the top. So we've got a switch. We've got two end devices just to make sure everything's working. So we got our IPv6 address, our DNS, our link local, all listed right there. And we're going to go ahead and scoochie this over so you guys can see while we're typing everything in. All right. So first command is going to be IPv6 DHCP pool. And we're calling this pool LAN 2. Just roll with it. Address prefix is going to be 2001:db8 cafe :2 /64. Right? And of course, we're going to be given that information on the test. Next, we're going to type in DNS-server. Yeah, no, it's incomplete. My bad. DNS server is going to be 2001:db8 cafe :2 /53. Now, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't remember if he gave us DNS server last time, but DNS server is 53. We've been doing that. That's just the standard we're sticking to. Then we're gonna do domain name -name CISCO2.com. Enter. Now we hit exit, and we're gonna jump into the interface. So now, if we look, our interface is gig 0/1. So let's type int gig 0/1. And then we're going to give it its IP address, which for us is going to be the gateway. 2001:db8 cafe :2 1/64. And enter. Why didn't that work, everybody? Because I didn't put IPv6. Remember, we are on IPv6, not IPv4. And it worked. Go figure. We're going to do no shutdown, because we always do no shutdown when we type in new information. And we're going to do our link local next. IPv6 address FE 80 :2 space link -local. Enter. And then we're going to do IPv6. This is one of those where you just got to remember the damn shit. Right? See how we have ND here? And then managed config flag. So IPv6 ND managed config flag. How do you remember that? I don't know. We just got to. Notre Dame, Golden Dome. I Fighting Irish. I don't know. I'm not sure. Type that in, and then finally we'll finish off with IPv6 DHCP server LAN 2. And if we go scroll up to make sure, we did call the pool LAN 2. So now we're telling it this is the server running the pool of LAN 2. And we're going to hit exit and hit exit and then do a read write. All right, so that should be it for stateful. Let's go ahead, click on this, go to desktop, ipconfig, IPv6, request failed, oh no. All right, so we're back recording. Basically, that router just decided to take a shit. Everything was set up properly. So I rebuilt a new one using the exact same code. I did the exact same stateful, and it worked. I don't know why it didn't work this time, or it worked the first time, but it's working now. Okay, so over here on my stateful, I'm going to go ahead and place down a PC, and then we are going to connect it to the switch right here, and we're going to let that connection come up, so we'll speed it up a little bit. Then let's click on here, desktop IP config IPv6 request successful. So it's working. I don't know why it's packet tracer, but this is the commands I've put in so far. I have started here at the top. I've put in all these. Again, I had to fix the IP addresses here, but I put in these commands. I forgot clock rate 64,000. That wasn't the problem, but I did put that in as well. So on my 2 serial ports, I added in the clock rate 64,000 because if you see right here, these connections have the clock by them. I make sure when I do my topology, I put them all on one router, so I have to do it only on one instead of 2 different ones. So I've put all these commands in. I've put these IP routes in. I've done Slack, and I've done stateful. So that's all done. So all we've got left is the DHCP snooping, portfast, BPD UART for our DHCP servers. So what we're going to do before we get into the router and do our snoop switch, this is all right, I turned off arrow shake, which was my problem the past 2 times. So as I was saying, this snoop part is actually going on the switch that's right here. That's why it's called the snoop. The name of the switch is actually snoop. Okay, so we've got those commands. Before we do that, let's set up our 2 DHCP servers. Get that done. So we're going to click on desktop IP configuration, and we're going to give this DHCP server what? We're going to give it 201.2.2.2 /24 subnet mask, and we'll do 201.2.2.1 as the default gateway, and we'll do 8.8.8.8. So that one's done. Let's go to services, DHCP. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to say default gateway 201.2.2.1, DNS server 8.8.8, and we're going to start our IP addresses at 20, and we're going to click save. There we go. Starting at 20. Done. Now, let's go to our bad DHCP server. Okay. We're going to give it the IP address. Let's see. Let's type one in. Let's do 123.123.123.0/24. That should be bad enough, right? We'll come to IP config, and we'll do 123.123.123.123. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Default gateway will be 123.123.123.1. DNS 8.8.8. Okay. That's done. Let's go to services, DHCP. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to start our IP addresses at we'll start it at let's say 150. Default gateway is going to be what? 123.123.123.1, DNS 8.8.8, and we're going to click save. Okay, that's done. Now we got to remember those default gateways, right? So what did we give this port right here? Do you remember gig 0/0? What did we give it? We should have gave it .1, right? So we should be able to come to good DHCP, go to our desktop, go to command prompt, and we should be able to ping it, right? Ping, not pint. Ping, I need a pint. 201.2.2.1. Okay, so our gateway's there. We can see it. So those are done, right? Cool. So we're going to go to our boy Snoop Dogg here, and we're going to configure this switch to do all of the saving graces that we needed to do. So let's go to our config, and we're going to go enable config T, and we're going to do int range FA0/1-24, so all of the ports, and then we're going to do spanning tree port fast. Okay, Then we're going to do spanning tree BP the UGuard. You press tab. And we're going to type in enable. We need to turn it on. Right? BP UGuard enable. Excuse me. And hit exit. Now, we need to know which port our server's connected to. So we have it connected to FA01. So we want that to be our trusted port because that's where our server is connected. So any other port than that is not going to be able to give anyone else a DHCP server or a DHCP address. Okay, so we're going to interface FA0/1, and he put a description in here, so we'll do it just for the sake of it. Type description link to DHCP server. Okay, now this is the command you actually need: IP DHCP snooping trust. Exit. IP DHCP snooping VLAN 1. IP DHCP snooping verify MAC address. Exit. Read write. So from this point forward now, with these commands in, these computers should be able to get an IP address, and it should be a good IP address. Now we're going to fast forward just to be sure. As you can tell, we already got our DHCP IPv6. That's already going. But let's see if we can get our IPv4. We got 123.123.123.150. That's not a good one, but we are getting the default gateway of 201.2.2.1. That's not good. This is one of the issues that we had before, isn't it? Where it's giving this weird mix of stuff. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Can we turn this sucker off? No, we can't. We're going to have to reload it. So let's go ahead and do reload. Let's see if that helps. So that's the issue we had before. The point is, we got the right commands in there. So if it doesn't work, well, fuck us, right? Okay. Enable config T. It's just that way we're in mode. Speed things up. Make sure all our connections are good. Okay. Let's go back to our server and let's make sure we can still ping our gateway. Sure enough, I can ping my gateway, so I know it's still there. Okay. So let's come to this computer. And there we go. 201.2.2.8. Now that's a little bit lower than it should be, right? We wanted it to be a lot higher than that. So let's go back into our server. See, that one got the wrong one. We don't want that one. This one got the right one. Let's go back to our DHCP server good and make sure we got our services set up right. Okay, start IP address didn't save, so that's our problem. So let's go ahead and do 20 and click save. Don't know why I did that. We'll click save a couple times just to be sure. And this one, we'll go ahead and click DHCP again and starting at 150. So it's saved there. It just didn't save that one. Don't know why, but you know, we all know why. Packet tracer. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this off. Try again. Now we're cooking. 201.2.2.20. Go ahead and turn this off. Turn this back on. There we go. Now we're good. So, to recap, first thing we did was our ISP switch that a router we have right here. We have 4 connections on it. We gave all 4 connections their IP addresses. The 2 serial ports I gave clock rates because they have the clock symbol on their serial port. Then we did our IP routes. We're going to test those in a second just to make sure we're good. The next thing I did was Slack, which is right here. Slack is on gig 0/0. Very simple set of commands using the beef IPv6. Then we did stateful on gig 0/1. We got that working. Again, similar commands, but also extremely simple. We created a pool that it pulls IPv6 addresses from. And that's done. So now hypothetically, we should be able to ping any computer over here and over there. So this computer is .21, right? So hypothetically, let's come over here and we'll pick this one and let's go to command prompt. Let's do ping. This computer is what? Does it have an IP address? It shouldn't, right? We didn't put one in there. Yeah, we didn't put one in there. Okay, let's give it a static 1.201.2.3.30, 201.2.3.1. Okay. Now, let's go here, command prompt. Let's see if we can ping our gateway, right? 201.2.3.1. Sure enough, I can ping my gateway. Now, let's see if we can start pinging as we go over. Right? So if I can ping my gateway, I should be able to ping, let's say, 90.2.2.2. Okay, so I can ping the other side of that router. Can I see .5? Okay, so I can actually see the right side of MMR2. Can I see the right side of MMR1? Yes, I can. Okay, let's keep moving over. Let's see if we can see. Let's see if we can see the DHCP server that's over there. Ping 192.168.10.10. Let's see. Fingers crossed. There it is. Okay, so we can see it. Took a little while. Had to get it all the way over there. So now we can see that DHCP server. Now we know we have .21, right? So let's see if we can see .21. That's on VLAN 10. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and check to see if we can see all of the VLANs. So this computer right here is 20.21, right? So let's see if we can ping that one. We can. And what's this one? This one is 30.21. So let's see if we can ping that one. Boom, we can see it. Awesome. So the last test is, let's see if we can ping these guys and if these guys can ping elsewhere. So let's do ping 201.2.2.20. So I'm going from stateful to Slack right here. And we can see it. Awesome. So let's come here to this one, which is part of our Slack network. Let's go ahead and type in ping 192.168.10.21. Let's see if I can actually type, guys. 192.168.10.21. Boom, I can see it. So we can see everything. Everything's set up. I'm going to include all of these documents along with the videos in the resources. So I love you guys. Good luck. See you in the morning.